to the VCCA Spotlight. I'm your host, Jim Karras. Today, we welcome Dave Miner, VCCA 60th Anniversary Meet Chair, to talk about the upcoming VCCA 60th Anniversary Meet to be held in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Dave resides with his wife Debbie in Canton, Ohio. Dave has been a member of the VCCA for 21 years. Dave and Debbie are members of the Lake Erie region, and Dave is a past national board member and past national VCCA president. Dave previously served in 2011 as the meet chair for the 50th anniversary meet in Flint, Michigan, and as a co-meet chair in 2016 for the 55th anniversary meet in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. Please join me once again in welcoming Dave Miner back to the VCCA Spotlight. Welcome, Mr. Dave Miner, chair of the 60th anniversary meet of the Vintage Chevrolet Club. Welcome to the VCCA Spotlight.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. It's good to be here.
We talked almost 2 years ago. I believe it was in August of 2020 when we recorded episode number 4. Can you believe it's almost been 2 years?
Unfortunately, yes, I can.
So I guess the first question is, are we really going to do it this time?
Absolutely. A year ago, when we normally would have done our 60th anniversary meet, as we all know, the world was involved with a pandemic that was somewhat out of control, and many borders were closed. And the good news is many borders are open, and the numbers look good. So we have all the contracts with all the businesses have been re-signed. Everything was included the way it was. We are counting the days down, ready to go.
The board recently visited Bowling Green, and part of that was to size up everything, just the last minute preparations as they're the host, but also to assess the damages that they had earlier with the tornadoes. How did that site survey go? And are you looking optimistic that everything's going to go without a hitch related to the tornado damage?
December 10th, 2021 was a serious tornado that came through Bowling Green. Bowling Green took a serious hit, and most of the hit went through a residential area in town. Some of the industrial park took a little bit of a hit. The Corvette assembly plant lost some major items on their roof, some of the heating and cooling elements, and they had roof damage. Motorsports Park lost their main building. They are in the process of rebuilding it now. None of the damage caused by the December 10th tornado that came through Bowling Green will adversely affect us at all as far as being able to enjoy the city. The city wants us to come, even though some of the people's houses have been hurt. Motorsports Park wants us to come. They have reconstructed a huge tent, and so all of their administrative activities happen in this air-conditioned tent. So we actually did not get hurt by any of that. So we'll see some of the damage when you're driving around town. They've been really focused on trying to get things back up, but there was no damage to the Corvette Museum whatsoever.
That's good. And then the host hotel and the convention center, I know last year you had mentioned that they were doing some construction. How does it look with your most recent visit with the board meeting?
The host hotel and the Sloan Convention Center are attached to each other. They did a multi-million-dollar renovation to the Sloan Convention Center, which is where we're going to hold the welcome event, the awards banquet, all of the seminars, the ladies' luncheon. All of that occurs in this convention center. The good news is there's plenty of parking for all of us at the convention center. We'll be roped off for our usage, and we have exclusive usage of the convention center for the entire week. It'll just be VCCA folk. And it is attached by a walkway to the Holiday Inn.
You know, we've sure been looking forward to it. Let me ask, what changes will members see at the meet, if any, from what you first envisioned?
As far as changes go, I think there's only 2 or 3. For those of you who have never been to an anniversary meet, some of the seasoned veterans will obviously understand this. We do the welcome event where everybody gets together. It's a big social. It's Monday, 4:30 to 6 in the afternoon. It's a good time to see everybody. We disseminate a lot of information. We will have people there that will help with driving tours in the area to help explain some of that. We will have the judging folks there that can answer any question you want about field entrance checks and judging and all that sort of thing. And so that will be a good time to understand, if you're new, exactly what's going on. We also have Dave Sufer, who is going to run 2 sessions, one on Sunday, one on Monday. And it's going to be, if you have never been here before, what do I have to look forward to? And you're free to ask every single question that you want. So that's kind of something a little on the new side. It's a real educational moment. Probably it'll take 45 minutes to an hour. Another thing that's a little new this time is we've partnered with an ice cream stand in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and we're going to go to their cruise-in. It's less than about 1 mile from the host hotel in the convention center. So they do a Tuesday evening cruise-in from about 5 o'clock till dusk. We can come and go at our leisure. It is a local ice cream stop for all those that have vintage vehicles in the Bowling Green area. So that's a little different. Something else that's a little different, that's one of the questions that I've been asked a lot, is can we tour the Corvette assembly plant? And the Reader's Digest simple answer is sorry, but no. The Corvette assembly plant discontinued tours when they changed over for the mid-engine C8 Corvette. They didn't want all of us looking, even though you can't take pictures, they didn't want us looking at what they were doing. And then along came COVID, and the GM assembly plants just aren't giving tours. So that is a change from when we started this thinking process about 4 to 5 years ago. But there's plenty to do. There's the Corvette Museum. There is the track, the 3.2-mile track that the museum owns. Plenty of attractions to see in the area. So I think it'll be a busy week if you want it to be. And if you want to take some time and lay back and enjoy, we have built in some ways to do that also.
That all sounds really great. And the ice cream stand outing sounds like it'll be a lot of fun to interact with the local community there. That'll be great. It's going to be a fun time for sure. Let me ask you, as far as registration, it's been open for a while. And in a minute, I'd like you to kind of go over the registration process. But first, what's the last day that members can register to enjoy all the activities, including VCCA judging and PCC judging, and be able to have a meal at the banquet and all the other good stuff?
The last day to pre-order shirts, hats, and to sign up for the Tuesday judging or car show that we're doing. So you can do not judge, Chevrolet driver participation, the original cars, which we call HPOCF, and then class judging. The last day for that is June 25th. The reason for that is we have to go order trophies, and I've got to have about 35 days in order to order the trophies. So we've cut it off at June 25th for pre-order of hats and shirts and all that kind of stuff. If you are wanting to come and enjoy virtually everything else, the last day to register will be like the first or second day of the meet. So if for some reason you're not so sure you can make it, and at the very end you go, we can make it, I want to go, you can show up on Sunday or Monday and you can register for the meet. The only thing that you would not qualify if you do that, number one, you obviously can't qualify to get a trophy that says Bowling Green, Kentucky 60th anniversary meet. You can purchase items at the Chevy store. You can do all the seminars. You can't sign up for the ladies' luncheon because that has to be pre-ordered, but you can come to the awards ceremony on Friday evening as a guest without ordering a meal. So you can come see the comedian, which we've hired, and you can come for the award ceremony and interact with all the guests that are coming on Friday night. So June 25th is the key date if you're going to want to be in the Judge show and if you want to pre-order shirts and hats.
Can you go over the registration, how folks can register, just again as a refresher in case someone felt they weren't going to originally go and now have changed their mind?
Absolutely. There's two ways to do it. The first way is electronic. That's probably the easiest if you're good at your computer. It is a very user-friendly registration form. It is found at vcca.org, vcca.org. You do not have to sign in on the home page. You just go to the bottom of the screen and you click on the link that says 60th anniversary meet registration, and it walks you right through the whole thing. If you have any questions whatsoever, the easiest way to do that would be call Pat Mail, Mehl. She's at Eastern Standard Time. Her husband, Tim, is a board of directors member. So if you just go to the third or fourth page in every G&D and you look where it says officers and board members, Tim Mail is up in Michigan, and he can hand the phone over to Pat and she can walk you through any question that you have. The other thing, if you want a paper form, we included one in the G&D, I believe, way back on March 1st. But if you threw that away, you can call Pat and say, I'd like a registration form. And we will mail you a paper registration form. So, and the other way is you can call the meet chairman, who is me, David Miner, at 330-492-7215. And I'm in Canton, Ohio, so I'm Eastern Time also. And I'll help you solve any question that you have.
That's fantastic. And how about the hotel rooms? Are there still rooms available? I would imagine that the host hotel may be full, but don't you have some auxiliary hotels? Tell us a little bit about securing a hotel room at this late stage.
We contracted with 4 hotels, wrote agreements with them. The Holiday Inn at University Plaza, which is the host, the Courtyard by Marriott, and the Hilton Garden Inn. They're all together, and you can go to an old G&D and find all the numbers for those 3 hotels and find to see if anybody's canceled a room. They pretty much were sold out within weeks of this process, way back in September. But Bowling Green has numerous hotels that are in the $75 to $100 range. And if you search for any hotel near the Corvette Museum, there's 3 or 4 there. Also, if you look just at Bowling Green and you ask your AAA provider, or if you go on your computer, there are plenty of other hotels out there. We also contracted with the Holiday Inn Express, and so you can check with them also in Bowling Green.
That information is still up on the website under the VCCA Anniversary Meet page. I think the numbers there are to the alternates, so that's good. How about trailer parking? Do you still have any room for trailers?
We have plenty of room for trailer parking. We contracted with Motorsports Park, and that's where the judging show is going to be. And that's where we've rented the track for the day. And we have plenty of secure parking. Overnight, it's locked up and very secure. And that's for a mere $25 for the entire week. So for less than $5 a day, you can leave your trailer there and drive your tow vehicle. You can leave your trailer and your vintage vehicle on your trailer or inside an enclosed trailer there until the car show if you wanted to. It's secure at night. So yes, we have secured really nice trailer parking this time.
That is fantastic. And how about the RV and motorhome folks that are coming? Is there still spaces at campsites as far as you know?
Absolutely. There is Beach Bend Park in Bowling Green. It is a combination small water park, a small amusement park, and I'm talking relatively small, but the grandkids would have a ball there. It's big enough for that. They have an NHRA approved drag strip there, and they have never ever run out of motorhome and trailer parking, but that probably means that the early bird gets the worm. And I have no idea how many hookups they have, but you can call them. They do not take reservations, but they said in their entire life they have never turned away a camper. So that's a good one. And then there's a KOA in Bowling Green. KOAs tend to fill up, so feel free to call them and check on their availability. They do take reservations, so check with those two areas.
And then the swap meet, do you know if, with the delay, has there been any impact to the swap meet, or do you think it'll go on as planned?
The swap meet, I think, has been growing as far as enthusiasm from the vendors over the past 3 to 6 months. I think they're chomping at the bit to get out and move some of the product that they have and have fun at a swap meet. We have at least 30 spaces rented at this point. The swap meet is extremely convenient to the host hotel, which is a Holiday Inn, the Sloan Convention Center, the Hilton, and the Courtyard by Marriott. It is within a 2 to 3 minute walk from all 4 of those sites. The vendor spaces are 10 by 20. The vendor spaces are on grass. They're $25 for the entire week. So less than $5 a day to have a swap meet, which is unheard of in this day and age.
That is.
And all of us visitors who will go and buy their wares, there's a ring road inside this area where they're going to be. So you can walk on an asphalt driveway if you want. It's a private little area, so it doesn't have road traffic or anything like that. And so it'll be a marvelous place to have a swap meet. So we're getting a lot of enthusiasm on that.
Tell us about what's planned for the Chevy store.
So you can walk from the convention center inside the air-conditioned area, and you can walk over to the Chevy store. We're going to be selling meat coins, which will say 60th anniversary meat on it. We have a dynamite jigsaw puzzle, somewhere around 250 pieces, and it has 2 VCCA logos. The old one that had the 1918 circa sedan on it that we used for about 55 years. And the puzzle also has the new logo we're using where it has the yellow bow tie. And then on the same puzzle, all of these Chevrolet logos that date back to 1915, 1916. And the background of the puzzle is a waving American flag. So you're going to absolutely love this puzzle. I know we've all done a lot in the last 2 years of puzzles. So that's another item that'll be for sale in there. And the ladies that run the Chevy store will have some other things for us to select as a gift or remembrance of going. And the best way to get a shirt or a hat is to pre-order. We will have very few in the store only because they're embroidered or whatever. And we just want to encourage people to pre-order as much as possible so that we can have the correct sizes for you, and whether it's with a pocket or without a pocket and all that kind of stuff. We have polos and we have t-shirts.
And just to recap, the big events that we're going to do besides the ice cream, I remember that one, we're going to do the Corvette Museum, track day, and a clarification on track day. Can you talk about the number of laps? I know there was some confusion with some registrants early on. Can you clarify that for everybody?
Okay. What the Vintage Chevrolet Club has done is that we have gone to the Motorsports Park and we have said, we want to rent your track for the day. We have done that. They have a 3.2 mile, 23 turn track. If you've ever seen Watkins Glen, New York on any of your TV programs, NASCAR sometimes goes there. It's the exact same type of track as that. Lots of turns. We will be the only people that will be on that track. So there will not be the Porsche Club coming or a Corvette Club coming. We have it for the entire day. So there are 3 different ways to participate. The first way costs you $15. The track is 3.2 miles in length. So for $15, you can take any vehicle you want as long as it's a licensed real vehicle. You can drive the track. It doesn't have to be a Chevrolet. It can be a GMC. If you came to the meet and you brought your Buick Riviera, or your driving car happened to be a Toyota or a BMW, you can put those on the track too. As long as you go through the process of paying, you're a registered participant at our meet and you've signed up for one of those 3 levels. So we probably will do a tire pressure check, but that's about it. You do not have to have seat belts. If you want to spend $15, you can drive your 1918 Model D Chevrolet, and the pace car will not go faster than 35 miles an hour on the entire track. That's for 1 lap. It'll cost you $15. And if you say to yourself, boy, that was a lot of fun, I want to take somebody else on this track in my same car, or I want somebody else to drive my car and go around the track, you can get on the track a second time, possibly a third or a fourth time, do the exact same 3.2 miles at 35 miles an hour, and it costs you no more money. Your total expenditure, if you're going to do 35 miles an hour, is $15. Some of you are going to want to go up to 65 miles an hour. You can drive your tow vehicle. If you want to bring your rental car and you've rented a 2022 Camaro and you want to go up to 65 miles an hour, any vehicle that you want, you can take it on that track up to 65 miles an hour. The pace car will do 65. He'll put 5 cars on it at a time. You don't pass anybody. You do the 23 turns following the car in front of you. You must have a seatbelt. Their insurance requires that if you're going to go more than 35 miles an hour, you have to have a seatbelt. So seatbelts are required for this one. You do 4 laps, which is 12.8 miles. When you get done, if that was a whole lot of fun, you have just paid $35 to do 4 laps. You can say to yourself, I want to do it again, or I want my wife to drive the car this time, or I want Dave Miner to drive my car. Pick somebody else and give them your car, or you drive it again. It doesn't cost you anything to do it again. Get back in line and get in the line that says we're going to go up to 65 miles an hour and have fun. My guess is you're going to be able to do it anywhere between 2 sets of 4 laps, possibly just get back in line and say you want to participate again. And those that want to do what Bowling Green calls spirited laps, that's what I'm going to be doing when I'm down there. You can sign up for $75. That's totally what it costs you. And you do 4 laps, and the pace car will not go faster than 100 miles an hour. There's 2 straightaways. The rest of them, you'll be doing turns at, hairpin turns at 35 or 40 miles an hour. And when you're done doing the 12.8 miles and you get off of it and you have trouble wiping the smile off of your face, you can say, Dave, I want to do that again. We'll go back and get in line. And so you get back in line with the group that's going up to 100, and you got to have a seatbelt. And I've done that twice. Once in my car, which is a little 2-seater Chevrolet built in Bowling Green, Kentucky, sometimes called a Corvette. And the other, I was down there last August, and every once in a while I decide I need something special in life. So you can rent one of their mid-engine Corvettes. They have 7 of them. It costs $329. You rent their car, their gas. They'll take you up to 100 miles an hour for 4 laps at $329.
That sounds fun.
If you have so much fun that you'll want to do it again, they'll gladly take another $329 off your credit card. I've done it once. It is a ball. They're automatics. They're not stick shifts. So that's 3 different ways to participate in it. Just remember, if you sign up for the $15 at 35 mile an hour, or the $35 at up to 65, or the $75 up to 100, you never pay another 75. You don't pay another 35. It's as many times as you can get on the track. And we're licensing the car, not the driver. So you do not have to drive your car the second time. You can have your grandchild who's 21 and you're bringing your 63 split window and you really think he can handle it. And you just give it to your grandson and you hope he makes it around okay. That was a little tongue in cheek. we have the Corvette Museum. And if you've never been there, we got a phenomenal group rate that you can sign up for, much less than what it costs to go through. The price is $850. Even if you're not a Corvette person, you get to see all the Corvettes that fell into the sinkhole. And it is a very well done museum. I think you'll enjoy it whether you're a Corvette person or not. So I highly recommend it. And your tickets that you sign up for can be used at your convenience anytime during the week. So it's a fun activity. We also have a driving tour on Friday, our plaque tour, which will be down in Franklin, Kentucky. There will be detailed instructions in your meet booklet. And Franklin is a town that probably prospered until about 1930 or 1940 and then just kind of stopped. And they've tried to recreate it with little boutiques in the old storefront. So it's got a town square with the courthouse in the center of the town square. They've got a jail, an old stone jail that dates back to the turn of the century and not 1900s. And so that's kind of a fun driving tour. You can do that in a modern or in a vintage. If you are one of our international members, on the form, you can sign up and say, I'd like to ride with somebody when I'm down there because I'm coming in a modern, because I'm flying into Nashville, Tennessee, which is our local closest airport, which is about an hour due south of Bowling Green, easily accessible by an interstate I-65.
And that's the Share the Chevy program on the registration form.
Absolutely. That's for Friday. And maybe you want to share a Chevy on Tuesday night and take them to the ice cream cruise-in. So there'll be some people that want to ride with other people on that Friday. Or you might be an individual that has a four-door sedan or a car with a back seat and say, we can take another couple. And it is a ball. If you've never done this, I've done this on six-cylinder tours. I've done this at Central Meets. It is a ball to pick up somebody, and you can register for this ahead of time, pick up somebody from Australia and have them as your guests for the next 3 or 4 hours, and they ride in the back seat. So you can either volunteer to take some guests, and there'll be people that will be coming that maybe they're far enough away they come in a modern, and they would like riding in your 68 Corvair or whatever you're driving. So think about that. And it's a way to interact with other members in the club, them to get to know you and you to get to know them. I've done it, and it's a ball. There's lots of ways to participate. There's a railroad museum in town. There's some other activities that you might want to participate in. We will have a representative from the Visitor and Convention Bureau there on Monday evening, and you're welcome to go up to Janet and say, what can I do in Bowling Green? I want to go to an arboretum, and she'll point you with the map that takes you to the Baker Arboretum, and you can walk around there, which I've done. Those that want to go up maybe and see Mammoth Cave, which is a national park, if you're going to do that, I would call tomorrow and tell Mammoth Cave you'd like to come, because it is a huge tourist destination and they sell out rapidly. There are zillions of caves in the county that Bowling Green is in, and we will be giving you information on those. Many of them are private caves and they do not sell out. Some of them you do have to make reservations for. So you just call them up and say, I want to come see your cave. And you say, what do you have open on Thursday? Because that's kind of a free day. And they'll tell you. And they're very affordable. And they're a lot of fun. They're walking tours. You do need to be a little agile on your feet. They're not set up for wheelchairs or walkers. They are natural caves, but they're fun. So whether you're having dinner with us or not on Friday night, the entertainment is free, whether you have a dinner reservation or not. Please come for the entertainment. We have a professional comedian, very family-friendly stuff. I've talked to him on the phone and I've watched some of his routines on YouTube. He is a very entertaining individual. That's part of what you're paying for in your registration when you come to an event like this. and also all the other activities that happen. We introduce people that have been members since 1961 when we began. So hopefully we have a number of those folks that show up, or folks that joined in the very first year of our existence way back in 1961. Just lots of ways to have fun at an anniversary meet.
I guess one thing we should point out is although the event stopped Friday night on the 5th, most people will check out on the 6th. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And then once again, best way for folks to find out more, where do they go?
The first place I would go would be vcca.org, O-R-G. And on the homepage, it'll give you the easiest way is to look at the registration form, because it tells you everything we're doing. And Mr. Jim Karras did a really nice job of putting that together for us. The other thing is to look at all of your G&Ds over the past 6 or 8 months, because we tried almost every month to do an article on something. So there's an article written about the Corvette Museum. And there's an article written about Motorsports Park, the 3.2-mile road course. There's an article written about our plaque tour, which will be down in Franklin, Kentucky.
This has been a lot of fun. Any final comments?
I'm looking forward to everybody coming. We've done this planning with a little hiccup from last year and bumping it to 2022. I find anniversary meets to be a ball. Number one, some people bring some of their prized vehicles, and so it's a real chance to see some unusual Chevrolets quite often, things that they normally don't drive on their tours, but they bring to a judge meet. So that's kind of fun. The other fun thing is meeting all the folks that I've known for 25 or 30 years. And the other thing is meeting all of you that have called me up and said, how do I do X, Y, and Z, Dave? And I've said, well, look me up when you get there and say hi. And then the third thing is those of you who haven't called me, and that's okay, you all don't have to call me, meeting you. And so stop, and if you see me go by and they say, okay, well, that's Dave, he's the meet chairman. If I look busy, stop me at least to say hello. And I may say I'm busy, but I'll find enough time to say hi, and maybe we can talk later. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for coming on and kind of giving us an update on where we're at. We too are looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an enjoyable week, and definitely one for the books at the VCCA. With that, thanks again.
See you all in Bowling Green.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. I want to thank Dave Miner once again for all of his efforts to bring us another memorable anniversary meet. Those VCCA members in attendance in Bowling Green are going to experience a week of a lot of fun. The week will entail plenty of great activities, good food, amazing Chevrolets and GMCs, and most of all, great folks from all over the world. Remember, June 25th is the deadline to make your reservations to enjoy all the activities at the meet, so be sure to make your reservations and travel plans right away, as you won't want to miss this fun-filled event. We hope you found this episode interesting. We look forward to bringing you additional episodes featuring the stars of the VCCA. Until next time, be well, drive safe, enjoy the ride, and we will catch you on the back roads.
America is asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all. On a highway or a road along a levee, performance is sweeter. Nothing can beat her. Life is completer in a Chevy. So make a day today to see the USA and see it in your Chevrolet.
The VCCA Spotlight is a production of TKG Media Works on behalf of the Southern California region of the Vintage Chevrolet Club of America.
TKG Media Works.